Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Theo the Teddy crochet along. In this part, we are going to be working on the body, the arms, the legs, and the tail. So let's jump in. Alright, so once we have completed the head, we are going to move on to the body. And for the body, we're going to be using our Color A yarn. So whatever that is for you, I'm going to be using this brown. And to start, we're going to make a magic ring. And within the magic ring, we are going to make 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll just close up our ring there. And then I'm going to place my stitch marker. And that is round 1 completed. Now for round 2, we're going to do an increase stitch in every single crochet around. So that's 2 single crochets in 1. So 1, 2. We're going to repeat this 6 times, so you should have 12 stitches at the end of round 2. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now moving on to round 3, we're going to do 12 single crochets. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For row 4, we're going to do the combination single crochet 1 and increase. Single crochet and 2 stitches in 1 for an increase. We'll repeat this 6 times for a stitch count of 18 at the end of round 4. There is round 4. Now for round 5, we're going to do 18 single crochets, so 1 single crochet in each stitch around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. For row 6, we're going to do the combination single crochet 2 and increase. 1, 2, and an increase. 1, 2, and an increase. And we'll repeat this 6 times, and your stitch count should be 24 at the end of this round. And that is round 6 completed. Now for round 7, we're going to place 24 single crochets, so 1 single crochet in each stitch around. I have a weird lump in this yarn here. One in the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will finish round 7 off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 8. Alright, and for round 8, we're going to do the combination single crochet 3 and increase. So 1, 2, 3, increase, and again 1, 2, 3, increase. We will repeat this 6 times for a stitch count of 30 at the end of this round. 3, increase. I will meet you back here at the end of round 8 for round 9. Alright, moving on to row 9, we're going to be completing 30 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just complete your 30 single crochets and we'll meet back here for row 10. Alright, and that is round 9 completed. Now for round 10, we're going to do the combination single crochet 4 and an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and we'll repeat this 6 times for a stitch count of 36. So just complete round 10 and I'll meet you back here for round 11. Alright, and for row 11, we're going to place 36 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For round 12, we're going to do the combination single crochet 5 and an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase. And we'll repeat this 6 times for a stitch count of 42 at the end of round 12. 3, 4, 5, and an increase. I will finish off row 12 off camera and I will meet you back here for round 13. Alright, and that is round 12 complete. So now moving on for round 13 through 16, so 13, 14, 15, and 16, 4 rounds, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So single crochet 42 for rounds 13 through 16. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I will complete these rounds off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 17. Alright, so that is up to row 16 completed. And I'll just actually zoom you out a little. And we will move on to row 17 and we're going to start decreasing back down now. So for row 17, we're going to do the combination single crochet 5 with a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a decrease. And we'll repeat this 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a decrease. And you should have 36 stitches at the end of round 17. So I will meet you back here for round 18. All right, for row 18, we're going to do single crochet 36. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just finish your 36 single crochets around and we'll meet back here for row 19. All right, now for round 19, we're going to do the combination single crochet 4 and decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a decrease. And we'll repeat this 6 times as well. 2, 3, 4, and you should have 30 stitches at the end of round 19. All right, so once we have reached round 19 and we've completed that, we are going to stuff our body. So I'm just going to take some fiber fill and I'm just going to start stuffing into the bottom here. And just similar to before, I'm just going to spread that out. And then add some more. We will stuff again, so it does not need to be fully stuffed. At this point, just a good starter amount. So once that is done, we will move on to round 20. So for round 20, we're going to do the combination single crochet 3 and a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, and decrease. 1, 2, 3. And we'll repeat this 6 times for a stitch count of 24 at the end of round 20. Alright, for round 21, we're going to do the combination single crochet 2 and a decrease. So 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, and again we're going to repeat this 6 times and you should have 18 single crochets at the end of round 21. Alright, and if you need to, you can add a little bit more stuffing here. Now for round 22, we're going to do single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, and again we're going to do this 6 times, and you should have 12 stitches at the end of this round. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, and one more single crochet, decrease. All right, there's just one final round left, so if you need to add any more stuffing, now is the time to do it. And for our final round, we're just going to do a decrease stitch in each stitch around. So there should be 6 decrease stitches and 6 stitches remaining at the end of round 23. Three, 4, 5, and 6. Just remove our stitch marker here, and I'm just going to cut my yarn. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a slip stitch into this next stitch here and pull that through. Next, I'm going to take my smaller crochet hooks. This is my 3.25 millimeter hook. And under the front loop of each of the last 6 stitches, I'm just going to pull this tail through, and that's going to close off that final row. But just making sure it's the front loop you're going into so that you don't get any holes in your work. And then I just like to make a final knot here as well, just again for extra security that it's not going to come undone. And then I'm just going to cut this a little shorter and weave in my end here. And there is our body complete. All right, so once our body is complete, we're going to sew that onto our head. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a strand of our color A yarn, about 12 to 16 inches long, and I'm just going to cut that. And this is going to be the yarn we're going to use to sew the head onto the body. So I'm just going to attach this to the darning needle here. Now we want to attach row 4 of the body to the head. So I'm just going to count down here. 1, 2, 3. This is row 4. So I'm just going to insert my yarn here. I'm going to leave a tail on both sides, and I'll just leave one side attached still. And then I'm just going to take my head here, and I'm just going to zoom you out a bit. I'm going to take my head and I'm going to attach it to the last rows of the head here. So it should sit centered on the head, or on the body, sorry. Just like that. Now this one's hard to pin. You're not going to really be able to pin it, I find at least, with the larger yarn. So I just usually will just hold it and make sure that it's in the correct spot that I want it to be in. And then once it is, I will take my hook here, or my needle, and I'm just going to insert it into the head and make my first stitch here. Now I'm just going to go around and I'm going to sew 1 into the body on row 4 and 1 into the head. all the way around until it's attached. Frequently checking to make sure that everything is straight. So just like that. So once you're happy with where your head is attached, we'll just tie a knot. And then just cut our ends here. And weave them in. And there is our head attached to the body. All right, so moving on, we are going to start working on the arms. So we're going to start with our color B yarn for the arms. So whatever that is for you. And we are going to start off with a magic ring. Now for round 1, we are going to place 6 single crochets within the round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll just close off that. Grab our stitch marker and place that. Now moving on to round 2, we're going to do an increase stitch in every stitch around. So 2 single crochets in 1, so 1, 2, and you should have 12 stitches at the end of this round. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and now for our 12th stitch, we're going to be doing a color change here for round 3. So we're going to insert our hook and yarn over and pull through so we have the 2 loops. But instead of finishing with our color B yarn, we're just going to cut this. And we're going to grab our color A yarn. And we're going to grab that and pull that through these 2 loops. Then on the back, we're just going to tie a very light knot with the 2 yarn ends, just to secure that color change. And now we have our new color on our hook and we're ready for round 3. So for round 3, we're going to do the combination single crochet and an increase. So single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. We'll repeat that 6 times for a stitch count of 18 at the end of round 3. All right, now for round 4, we're going to do 18 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now for round 5, we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to do the combination single crochet and a decrease. single crochet, decrease, and we'll repeat this 6 times and should have a stitch count of 12 at the end of this round. Here we go. Now we're going to move on to rows 6 and 7, which is going to be 12 single crochets around each. So single crochet 12 for rows 6 and 7, and you can stuff the yarn ends here into the center of the arm if they're getting in your way. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So just 12 single crochets around for rows 6 and 7, and I'll meet you back here for round 8. All right, so once we've completed up to row 7, we are going to stuff the arm before moving forward. So just lightly stuff. It does not need to be super hard. Just a light stuffing just to keep the shape of your arm. And then we're going to move on to round 8. And for round 8, we're going to do a combination of single crochet and decrease. Single crochet and decrease. And we're going to do this 4 times. So you should have a stitch count of 8 at the end of round 8. Decrease, single crochet, decrease. And that is round 8. All right, so moving on to round 9 through 12, so 9, 10, 11, 12, we're going to place a single crochet in each stitch around, so 8 single crochets for each of the 4 rounds. So 1, 2, 3. And I usually like to add some more stuffing at this point after round 10. So every few rows you're just going to add more stuffing just because the arm's pretty skinny now, so it's harder and harder to get stuffing in there. So now round 11, again single crochet 8. And that is the arm complete. So we'll just take out our stitch marker, and I'm just going to make a slip stitch to this next stitch here and cut our yarn, about 12 inches of yarn, so that we can sew that on. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more stuffing into those last few rows I just made until I'm happy with how the arm is looking and feeling. And there is our arm completed. So you're going to want to make 2 of these, so just go back and re-watch the arm pattern and make another one, and then we'll meet back here to sew it on the body. Alright, so once we have our 2 arms completed, we are going to sew them on. So just grab your body and your head that we have sewn together so far, and I'm just going to sew one arm on at a time. So before we start placing it, I'm just going to put this on the darning needle now. I like to just have it ready to go. Now when we're sewing on the arm, we're going to sew the arm onto the side, and you're going to be able to see a little bit of your color change right here. So I like to have that facing the back because it's just not as appealing aesthetically. So all your nice stitches are on the front. And basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place the arm on row 5 of the body, so right below where we attached the head, and I'm going to put it in line with the ear here. That's kind of where we want it to be placed. So once we have a guide, we're just going to pin that in just to make sure that we're happy with that placement. And once we are happy with it, we can sew that on. Just remember to remove those pins we placed, especially if this is for a child. And when I'm sewing it, I'm going through both sides of the arm. I'm basically just pinching the top of the arm. Just like that. Now you can either have the arm kind of like free to move around, or if you like to have it more secured down, what we're going to do is we're just going to insert our needle and we're going to push it down about 1, 2, 3 rows just into here. Then we're going to lay the arm down and we're going to see where it matches up, and we're going to insert our needle right through a couple stitches in that spot, and then we're going to put it back down beside where we had the first entry, and then I'm just going to push this all the way down to the underside of our teddy. And that's just going to keep the arm kind of more in place. So now we will attach the other arm. So again, we'll just place our darning needle on. And we're going to place this in the same spot on the other side. So on rows 4 to 5, or sorry, on rows 5 of the head, in line with the ear, just make sure that that's even. And then I'm going to sew that on. And again, I'm just going to push this down about 3 rows, match it up to where it would be on the arm, and then we'll push that down as well into the bottom. So once we're happy with our arm placement, we can tie off these yarn ends on the bottom together. And then I'll just cut this yarn. And weave in the ends. And there are our arms attached. All right, so once we have our arms completed, we're going to move on to the feet. So we're going to start off again with our color B yarn for the feet or the legs. And we're going to again start off with a magic ring. And I will just bring you in a little bit here. So to start for round 1, we're going to start off with 10 single crochets within the round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we will pull this closed and place our stitch marker. Now for round 2, we're going to place an increase stitch in each stitch around. So you should have 20 stitches at the end of this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now for our 20th, we're going to do the same thing we did with the arm. We're going to do a color change here. So just bring up your 2 loops of your 20th single crochet, and we're just going to cut this yarn, and we're going to grab our color A yarn, grab that and pull that through your 2 loops, and then we're going to grab these yarn ends and tie a very light knot. And now we have our color A yarn attached. So for round 3, we're going to do the combination single crochet 3 increase. So 1, 2, 3, and increase. And we're going to repeat that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, increase, and one more. 1, 2, 3, and increase. And you should have 25 stitches after round 3. Now for round 4, we're going to do 25 single crochets, so 1 single crochet in each stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. And that's what we're looking like after round 4. Now we're going to start decreasing back down. So for round 5, we're going to do the combination single crochet 3 and decrease. 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. And we'll repeat this 5 times for a stitch count of 20 at the end of round 5. now for round 6, we're going to do the combination single crochet 2 and a decrease. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, decrease. And again, we're going to repeat this 5 times for a stitch count of 15 at the end of round 6. All right, now after round 6, we are just going to stuff just a little bit before we finish off the feet here. So for the final round, round 7, we are going to do decrease stitch in each stitch around, so seven decreases. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then you should have 1 stitch remaining, and we will just place 1 single crochet in that stitch. And that is round 7 complete. So we'll just remove our stitch marker and place a slip stitch into the next stitch and cut our 12-inch strand of yarn and just pull that through. And then if you need to add any more stuffing, you can do that. This hole is very tiny, but you can still add in a little bit, but you don't want it to be like super round. You kind of want them to be a little flat. So don't overstuff these guys. So again, you're going to need to create 2 of these. So go back and create 1 more, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll sew them on. All right, so once we have completed 2 of our feet, we are going to sew them on the body. So we'll just grab our body. Now we're going to place these feet on rows 14 to 16 of the body. So we're just going to count down. So we know the head's attached to round 4. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So round 14, I'm just going to place a little marker. 14, 15, 16. And I'm going to do the same on this side. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, 15, 16, just like that. Now these don't have to be in the exact spot. We can move them around a little bit or whatever, but they're just kind of guides so that we know where we're going to be placing our feet. And they're going to just go kind of something like this, right on the front of the body. So when your bear is sitting, I know you can't really see this, but you're going to be able to see the feet in the front. So we'll just attach 1 at a time here. But I just like to put them both on and take a look and make sure that I'm happy with where they're placed before I sew them on. So I'm just going to take my darning needle here and attach that to my yarn end. And then I'm just going to start sewing this on. Once I'm happy with where I have it placed, just remembering to take out those pins. So once we're sewn on, again, we're just going to create a little knot. And just push that down to the bottom of the underside here. And there's one of your feet completed. So now we will attach the second one the same way. So I'm just going to place the second foot here, and you want about 2 to 3 stitches in between your 2 feet here. So just make sure that you have it in the right spot before sewing it on. And then I'm just going to go ahead, sew her on. And then once that's sewn on again, we're just going to create a little knot here. And then push that into the same stitch in the bottom here. So then we're just going to tie a knot again to secure our legs. Cut that. And weave in our ends. And there are our feet attached. All right, that is the legs completed. And now the very last thing we're going to do is we're going to create the tail. Now for the tail, we're going to use our color A yarn. So we're going to grab that and we're going to start off with a magic ring. Now inside the magic ring, we're going to crochet 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull that tight, place our stitch marker, and that is round 1. Now for round 2, we're going to do the combination single crochet 2, increase, and we're going to do that twice. So you should have 8 stitches at the end. So 1, 2, and an increase. And then again, 1, 2, and an increase. Now moving on to round 3, which is our final round, we're just going to place 8 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Remove our stitch marker and we're just going to place a slip stitch and cut about 10 inches for your yarn tail and pull that through. Now I'm just going to stuff my yarn end from the magic ring I made into the center here, and that honestly should be enough stuffing. If you need to add a little bit more, you can, but that's just how much probably I'm going to add. Now we are going to attach the tail to rows 13 to 15 of the body. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so 13 So right there, 14, 15. So kind of right there is what we're thinking. Just going to sit like that. Now you can just pin it down, just making sure that it's centered in the body here. Just like that. And then I'll just take my darning needle here. And once I'm happy with the placement of that, I'm going to sew it on. Making sure I remove my markers here. And then once that's sewn on, again, we're just going to tie a little knot here. And then push our tail in. And I'm just going to cut that right at the base. And there is our tail attached. And there is our completed teddy bear. I hope you guys really enjoyed this pattern. It's so much fun to make and such a cute little stuffy. Please let us know if you have any requests in the comments down below for another crochet along. Otherwise, we hope you guys have a lovely day and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!